Well, we're back again. Projects everywhere. Today, I'm going to introduce y'all to the whiteboard. Every project that's worth completing deserves a plan. And that's what I use my whiteboard for, is to plan it out. Now, granted, in the past, I've not done this very much. I've always planned things out in my head and hoped for the best. There's some projects I've done that I look back at how I started and how it finished. How in the world did it turn out halfway decent? But most of the time it did. But doing these videos, I have to explain. It's easier to explain what I'm planning on doing at the beginning, and then y'all can watch as we progress through the project, and it'll be easier to understand exactly what I'm doing. Now, I will explain to you what I'm doing as I go, but we're going to use the whiteboard to start off just about all of our projects. I just think it'd go smoother that way, and then I could even go back and look and see, what did I plan on doing next? How did I exactly plan on doing this? But anyway, it might get a little boring, but I'm going to try to make it as exciting as I possibly can. Alright, first off, we're going to go through the specific parts of an anvil. Your anvil, your normal anvil anyway, the top of it is going to look like this. And y'all, I'm going to do my best at drawing this. Alright, that's the top. This area right here is your striking area. You have a hole right here, a square hole, which it's called the hardy hole. That holds your tools, like your cutting tools, your shaping tools, just different things. You have another hole right here. It's called the Pritchel hole. That's like if you're going to punch a hole in a piece of metal, you lay it down flat and you take a punch and you punch it, flip it over, punch it again, and then you move it over to this hole and punch out the center. A lot of metals are easier to punch than drill because they're so hard. Like I said before, this is your striking area right here. This area right here. This right here is called the bench. Alright, y'all. This right here is your striking area. This is your hardy hole. This is your Pritchel hole. This right here is your bench. This bench right here is actually used for cutting. If you want to put a piece of rod or something down and use a chisel, you could hit straight down on this, because this is not going to be a hard surface. This is going to be your hard surface. You'd never want to use a chisel on this because you mess your working area out. This right here is not going to be a hard surface, so you can use a chisel to cut right here. And this is called the horn. This is where you do your round shaping of handles and stuff. And that's about it. Alright, the bottom of ours is going to look a little different than most anvils. We're going to have a little bench right here. And then it's going to come just about straight up like this, and then come down like this. So it's not going to be as thick as most anvils, but like I said, we're using railroad iron. Alright, the bottom of it, the waist, actually, is going to be the center of that, and we're going to bring it down so our footprint is fairly close to the same size as the top. And then we're going to come down like this. And this is going to be the bottom of our railroad iron. In the back, we're going to have a heel back here as thick as the top part of the railroad iron. It's going to come out like this. And then we're going to bring this down to right before the end of that. And right here, we're going to make us some sweeps. So the bottom's going to come out just a little bit wider than the top, and then we're going to cut it out like this, so we could anchor it on all four corners. Now, as far as these holes, it's going to be interesting cutting these holes out of this railroad iron. My plan, so actually our anvil, you could basically look at it. There's actually going to be a line right through here where the two pieces of railroad iron come together. That's where we're going to be welding it together. What I'm going to do, and I got a couple ideas how I'm going to try to do this. For this hardy hole, before we weld it together, I'm going to cut half. I'm going to put a 3/4 hardy hole in there. So I'm going to take half a 3/4 and cut a notch out of this side, and take half a 3/4 and cut it out of the notch on that side. And I'm going to try to get a piece of copper pipe and some 3/4 key stock and hammer down into the copper pipe to square it up, and then put it in this hole and then clamp these two pieces together, and then we'll do our welding. I'm going to get, I don't know exactly what the name of the welding rod is, but the welding rods they use to harden surfaces, that's what I'm going to weld the whole thing together with. And then on the top here on our striking area, I'm going to put some beads up here and then grind it back down flat. But that's pretty much what we plan on doing. The only part I'm going to harden is from here to here, which will basically be from right here back. And then once we get it all welded up, I can knock that key stock out and knock the copper pipe out. Right here, I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to drill that hole. I think that hole probably going to be around, I'm going to see what the size of the tip of a torch is, because you can stick your torch in there while you're working if you're using a torch. But that's pretty much the plan on the anvil. And we'll get started on it pretty soon. So y'all stay tuned. I just wanted to tell y'all I appreciate y'all tuning in and watching my videos. The one thing that would be awesome, if you'd subscribe and like and comment. If you got anything to say, all you got to do is scroll all the way to the bottom and leave a comment. You got any questions? Scroll all the way to the bottom and leave a comment. I know a lot of people that are watching my videos right now don't watch YouTube on a regular basis, and a lot of them aren't subscribed to anybody. But please sign in, subscribe, and stay tuned. These are going to be some pretty interesting videos. I just want to say thanks again for watching, and I know this one was kind of boring, but we fixing to get into some showing up work.